Hello, my brothers and sisters. My name is Tiamat, and I am a dragon witch. I am a worshipper of Tiamat. And Tiamat, of course, I said so many things about her, and yet I still have the feeling that not enough is said about her. And in this case, I want to talk to you about her halls, the halls of Tiamat, that I hope that one day you are going to be welcome inside of the halls of Tiamat. And with the halls of Tiamat, I don't mean like giant buildings, and I don't mean like human constructions. With the halls of Tiamat, I mean the forests and nature in itself. Because if you want to turn it off, it doesn't matter how you want to see it. The halls of Tiamat are actually forests and everything that grows. Everything that grows is still her energy. I had many visions inside of my dragon's path that included Tiamat. And the one that stuck with me forever actually was that she showed me as I was a child inside of her arms, inside of her great halls, inside of the forest where she was hovering over, and she showed me myself as a baby inside of her arms. That shocked me because it was so real. I could breathe, I could see her, I could see every detail, and it was so beautiful. I just saw a video about someone who wanted to explain Tiamat, but the only thing that I could hear was darkness, monster. She also, her children were monsters, and bad things. Bad. She never had. She was very much worshipped, but humans don't understand why she was worshipped by early humanity in Babylonia and Mesopotamia. That she was the darkest goddess of them all. The most. You cannot have dark. And I have to admit, my brothers and sisters, Tiamat is not the savior of mankind. It was also not her idea to create mankind. It was an evolution. It was an evolution of her body. Her body was everything that grows today. Without her, there is no life. An alternative name for her is Ghana, which means she who gave birth to all. Every living creature in this world has been given life because of Tiamat. Come away. Because of Tiamat. Tiamat energy is still everywhere. And so that is, oh, Tom, I'm sorry. And Tiamat is still everywhere. Of course, humanity doesn't want to see this because Tiamat doesn't promise anything to them. She is also not the one that loves humanity. If you have something, if you cannot give something in return, then humanity will not easily worship something. But the difference with us is that we are her children, and everything inside of ourselves is screaming for her aid and for her advice, for her protection. Energy from Tiamat is everywhere that is surrounding you. Of course, it can be that another dragon god really claims you, and that is typically a dragon or a dragon god. Whenever a dragon claims you, then you are under their protection. But there is a high chance that there is still Tiamat who is doing that. Of course, not pulling the strings, that is up to you. But that is why dragons are still surrounding you and still protecting you. Because Tiamat is still everywhere where you go. A great energy, and that can be because some people have this you can say gift of feeling, the gift of feeling, gift of sight, and it can be that they feel Tiamat with you. And most people, in most cases, they will fear you for that. And the first time that I've seen this for real was when once I was inside of a Wicca community. I didn't know where to go, so I wanted to maybe they will answer some questions that I have. But some of them really didn't like me. The energy that I was, and that is also what they said, the energy that was radiating out of me was something that was against them. And they really didn't like it. The energy that was inside of myself was so dark for them that sometimes people said, why are you here? Because you don't belong here. And eventually they are right. I didn't belong there. And there are so many people who really don't like the energy of Tiamat. Because, yeah, she is indeed the goddess of chaos. She is really the goddess of chaos. And out of this chaos, we have to have this advantage to unlearn everything, unlearn all of it, all of what humanity has teach you inside of your life. And that is the gift of Tiamat. The first moment that I was really confronted with Tiamat before my awakening was inside of a forest. We had a forest wherever we lived. And I loved that. I loved every single tree. I loved the animals. I loved the sound that it makes. It is the halls of Tiamat. And the halls of Tiamat where we are welcome. And that is where we have to return to. That is our entire goal on this life. We have to return to the halls of Tiamat. And how to do so, how to follow our guide, to follow our guardian dragon by our side, because the guardian dragon is also a son or a daughter of Tiamat, and they will always recognize the light of Tiamat. That is why people don't even know that Tiamat also has a lot of light, but only her children will recognize that and will the first moment really that I really could taste the light of Tiamat was during that vision and dream. That dream that I had from her was so deep, so real. I didn't even know what was real and what was not. But I saw her in the forest, not that far away from where you can see. In that forest, it was like it was over there. I saw still every tree that stands there is an exact copy of what I've seen inside of my dream or vision, you can say, and that she was hovering over and showing me myself. And I could remember the energy that came out of me, the radiation, and she looked at me like how a dragon looks at you with yellow eyes, yellow, beautiful eyes. She is truly a goddess that not enough is said about. Of course, I'm not saying this to humanity to worship her, because that doesn't make sense. They are not their direct children. They will be afraid of her. And that is what people forget, what sometimes gods can be. Gods are not really love and light all the time so that you can be a part of it. That is also not what Tiamat is. And I'm very much sure that the one that they are worshipping is not all light as well. If I hear all of the stories, there is not all light or all darkness. And that is also what Tiamat will teach you. Tiamat will teach you, and the other dragon gods will teach you how to balance it. Because true children of Tiamat will balance it, will not be afraid of the darkness, like all of humanity would be afraid to feel the energy of Tiamat because there is so much darkness to it. But we will not. We only can see the light of her, the light that came out of you. Out of her womb came you and your energy. It's not because the package is different now that it's completely gone. You will be enchanted from the moment that you will have the energy of Tiamat close by. And that is why I worship her. But I don't worship her because it has to. I worship her because I love her. And that is why we all love our dragon gods, because we love her. And we all try to return to the halls of Tiamat, the halls of the dragon goddess. And that is also why we are so much in a distance between humans and ourselves. We might look like humans, but it doesn't feel this way. It never felt this way. I never had the moment inside of my life that I said, yeah, I'm one of them. We are not, my brothers and sisters. And we don't have to go to a building, like a giant building, to worship her. Go to a forest, my brother or sister. If you have a forest, if you have a tree, if you have a plant, if you have anything like it, you can reach out for him, for her. You can say that every tree and every root of the tree will always be in connection with the dragon goddess. And she can she can have a lot of shapes. She can transform in a lot of shapes. She can come before you as a human, but she can come before you as how she really is, as a dragon, my brothers and sisters. So yeah, it doesn't make sense to convince people of Tiamat. I am very shocked and very pleased as well that back in the day they recognized her energy, but she was seen as a force of nature, and her embodiment was that of a dragon, and her elements were actually two. It was water and it was earth. Both of them were very much coming out of her body. The body that she had was completely out of the earth itself, and we are still living on her body. And she also, and that is also what I see, the blood of Tiamat is the waters. Every water that we see is the blood of Tiamat. That is why sometimes I don't understand why people, even on the dragon's path, see the human gods as equally as the dragon gods. Because once you are in connection with Tiamat or the other dragon gods, if once you talk to them as one of the dragons, as one of their children, you completely are in a trance and you will never go back. You will never say, oh yeah, I will take another god with this. It's not about worshipping gods if you worship Tiamat. It's about being yourself. It's about being one of her children. It's about coming home, coming inside of the halls of Tiamat, coming with her, as one of her, as one of her children. Like I said, as humanity might not see it this way. Humanity, and I understand why, because humans are afraid of darkness and we should celebrate the darkness, but also the light that she has, and we will recognize it. And we will very much recognize the chaos that she has, because out of the chaos we unlearn everything and we remember everything. Out of the chaos, and that is why people see her as evil, she's the goddess of chaos, but out of the chaos you remember. Out of the chaos you know who you are. And out of the chaos, of course, I was confused. Nobody could tell me what to do, even though later on I came to know someone who gave me this necklace. And also, of course, in the beginning, I was confused. I was confused. I had no one to turn to. But yeah, I just found my way anyway. Out of the chaos, you will find your path. Out of the chaos, you will find the halls of Tiamat, and she will call you welcome inside of our halls.